So, this will be my third video about this subject, and the subject is, of course, Quibi. And Quibi is a streaming service that was launched by Katzenberg and partner Whitman in, I think, $1.8 billion, if I'm not mistaken, worth of investment. And sadly, from even before it launched on April 6th, this thing was destined for failure. Let's see what they're running into now.
Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino!
So, stuck behind a paywall for the Wall Street Journal, we have an article. And that article is basically a point of frustration for the vendors, which in this case are the advertisers or that are utilizing Quibi to reach audiences, wanting to renegotiate the deal that they signed with Quibi originally. Now, of course, because this is stuck behind a paywall at the Wall Street Journal, and because I believe that's an antiquated business model, I don't think I'm going to pay for this story. So instead, let's go to a source of the story where Wall Street Journal kind of fed this company the information. And it's the Observer. Now, according to this headline, Quibi is running out of time to turn its rough start around. And I would say, as an outside observer, that's probably a fairly accurate statement. As you can see, the biggest concern that these companies have is that the $1.8 billion investment isn't going to yield the eyeballs that these advertisers would like. Quibi is a short format video platform. It relies on scripted, primarily and unscripted content by celebrities and pseudo-celebrities and some unknowns. And what's really weird is they want you to pay a monthly service fee for this. The ad-based platform is $4.99 a month. The ad-free platform is $8 a month, or $7.99 a month. Now, several problems exist because of the way this platform was rolled out. Number one, it was primarily a mobile platform, which means that you were watching content on small screens or tablets. Although, in an effort to try to keep some of the subscribers, now keep in mind they offered everybody a 90-day trial of this service, which will start to expire in July. They really didn't have a whole lot of content. They didn't have a farm of content like Netflix or Hulu or Disney or Amazon or anything. In fact, much like Apple Plus, they were trying to provide a lot of their own content, which, in my opinion, is a mistake. You need quite the library if you're going to spend $1.8 billion to launch a new platform. But I'm off topic. Let's get back to this. So at this point, right now, big advertisers, such as, Anheuser-Busch InBev, Pepsi, Yum Foods, many of these large advertisers who had pledged about $150 million, I believe, in revenue, in advertising revenue, are looking to renegotiate their deal. And as you can see from the story, they're not super thrilled about the deal that they signed to begin with. So let's go through this very quickly. As of this writing, Hollywood exec Jeffrey Katzenberg, $1.8 billion streaming service Quibi, which launched on April 6th, ranked a lowly 46th among Apple's iTunes app downloads. For comparison, HBO Max, which hit the public on Wednesday, ranked 3rd. Not a surprise. They're stating in this article that it's not all Quibi's fault, questionable name aside, which I disagree with. I think the name is primarily to blame in many, many, many cases, but I digress. The streaming service is designed for mobile phones, complete with short-form content meant to be consumed on the go in 4 to 8 minute chunks. Due to the global pandemic, Quibi was forced to launch while the entire world remained in their homes, which has made it difficult to attract subscribers. Already, this article should be called into question because everybody's at home right now. So what better time than now, when you have a captive audience, to launch a streaming platform? Anyway, it offered, like it says here in the article, the 90-day trials that we were mentioning. And that's great, except for one thing. In July, those are going to go away. So they are urgently needing to remedy the missteps that was made by the initial mobile-only streaming service introduction, the main one being the lack of casting from phones to TVs for content viewing on bigger screens. That was a no-brainer. You should have been able to do that from your Apple or Android device from the very beginning. You should have had an app that was ready to go for Roku streaming, the Fire Stick streamers, all that stuff. You should have had everything ready to go for smart TVs. This platform should have been launched for everyone, and it simply wasn't. Not to mention the fact that unless you have a data plan that can support this much data, it's borderline irresponsible. But again, I'm off topic. So again, we mentioned the price, $4.99 or $7.99. And Netflix, of course, in the story here, it says that's especially true as Netflix continues to dominate quarantine. HBO Max and Peacock hit the market, and Apple Plus and Disney Plus continue to soak up attention. Again, this is a lot of spin from the Observer article, because Apple TV Plus or whatever is failing fast and probably won't be around much longer. Disney Plus soaked up a lot of initial attention, but I don't know. I mean, it would have been better if Disney would have launched their platform jointly with Hulu, so that, since they own the majority of Hulu, so that they would have been able to capitalize on the streaming service and to be able to lead in the streaming wars. Anyway, still, Quibi is racing to address its flaws by adding more social media friendly sharing tactics to help generate buzz and create more palatable, what does that say? More palatable something. I'm in the way. There we go. Product suited to the current climate. No kidding. Again, here's the problem. We are all frustrated and angry and outraged by the celebrities that were the big drivers of this platform. None of this is surprising. None of this is surprising. Anyway, largely this article is pointing to the fact that they believe that Quibi is in a position of failure and likely going to fail by the end of the year, in my opinion, because of the global pandemic that we're dealing with. No, it's going to fail and is failing because they didn't know who their customers were, didn't realize that their delivery system was flawed, since that was the only way they were going to go about things, and ultimately 10 minutes worth of content or less is not engaging on a pay service. You're paying $8 a month for something that you're getting in 10-minute snack-sized bits. You might as well go to YouTube for free with short ads that you can skip, to see content creators like myself for free. So finally, the last article we're going to look at is the actual numbers and the actual brief that comes from or went to the Wall Street Journal. PepsiCo, Taco Bell, Walmart look to renegotiate terms with Quibi as the streaming problems mount. Man, I can't talk today. I apologize, guys. So, reading from the brief, we will go quickly to that. PepsiCo, Yum Brands, Taco Bell, and AB InBev, which is Anheuser-Busch, and Walmart among the blue chip advertising partners trying to renegotiate deal terms with mobile streamer Quibi, citing people familiar with the matter in the Wall Street Journal article. The companies are pushing to defer payments or, in some cases, adjust their billing schedules, the report said. It says that there has been 4.2 million downloads of this app, with 1.5 million users signed up to its free 90-day trial. People started paying for this right away? Or were they giving it on their phone plan for free? Boy, if you got that on for free on your phone plan and they talked you into that over something better, higher quality streaming service, I'd be pretty upset. Anyway, it says here that the global pandemic has also led marketers to pull back on advertising, of course. No kidding. They're doing that platform wide. You can't point that to okay, everybody's dealing with the same market. So there are other new streaming services that are going to be successful. In particular, HBO Max is going to be much more successful in a shorter period of time because they had a giant content library. Content is king when it comes to streaming. Man, this is flawed. Anyway, so their insight from the article is this. One of the biggest stories in the ramp up to Quibi's debut was the sizable amount of upfront ad commitments, around $150 million. The platform was able to secure from the large roster of marketeers, which would be everybody we talked about at the top of the story, including 10 marquee partners. And we identified 5 or 6 of those when we were talking a moment ago. The hefty buy-in was a sign that the service, led by Hollywood veteran Katzenberg and CEO Meg Whitman, could garner more traction than similar bets on mobile streaming space that didn't take off, such as Verizon's failed Go90 app. Actually, that app should have indicated to you that this thing was going to fail hard. Especially with the backlash that we have for celebrities. There should have been some indication right when this thing started that some of that wasn't going to go well. Anyway, I'm tired of these stories. I've spent too much time talking about the dumb platforms and the way that they operate. Look, the business part of this is simple. You need content to run a streaming service. You need engaging content to be successful. If you have a library of content full of television programs and movies that people haven't seen for a while, have been tied up, with exclusivity deals and things like that, you're going to have a desirable streaming service. If not, you're going to fail. So there will be varying degrees of success when it comes to this platform for streaming in general. For the bigger companies, the bigger players, the ones that already either own the content or have secured the content for a lengthy period of time. So streaming services like Amazon, which has the most content, Hulu, which has the second most content, Netflix, which is in that ballpark. Actually, I take it back. I think Netflix may have eclipsed Hulu in content. I'll have to go back and research that. But regardless, those are the 3 heavy hitters. Now, Hulu and Disney and ESPN are all the same thing. As far as streaming goes, it's the same company. They should just unite those platforms. And HBO Max is going to continue to roll in all the Time Warner assets they have over time. So that, and plus they're going to keep producing material. They have all these other channels, Crunchyroll for anime, just a huge number of different segments of content that you can go through on their app. That's the way you do a streaming service. You don't do 8-minute videos of new content that's not tried and true to try to build an audience. Anyway, I beat this horse completely to pieces, so I don't know what else to say other than I don't think Quibi's going to last through the end of the year. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry this video is a little less scripted, or not scripted at all, actually. And more or less just wanted to get you guys my thoughts on this directly without all the polish that I normally provide. Tell me what you think in the comments below, if you'd like. Hit the like button if you like this style of video. I don't do many of these where they're unscripted and I'm just off the cuff. Tell me if you think that there are other streaming services that I'm wrong about, or if I'm wrong about this one. Otherwise, take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, stay safe, and stay healthy. There's more reasons to stay safe now than ever. Be sure to support all of the content creators out there. They certainly deserve your support, especially at a time like this when they're doing everything they can to entertain you and themselves to some extent. Again, thanks for your time. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.